These are the top 5 title fights I'm most excited about for 2025. First up at number 5, I've got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Merab Dvalishvili. Now, the reason this is on my list is because this is a somewhat unpredictable fight, which is kind of rare right now. A few years ago, we had a lot of very dominant champions: Adesanya, Usman, Volkanovski, Oliveira, Sterling. But in the last year or two, there's been a lot of transitions. But it seems like right now, we've settled on a new era of dominant champions with guys like Pantoja, Islam, Topuria, Pereira. All these guys have really cleaned out most of the major competition in each of their divisions, though there are still dark horses, and I think Umar is one of them. Both Merab and Umar are very high-level grapplers, but nobody's been remotely competitive with Merab's wrestling in the last few years, so this is an intriguing matchup. At number 4, I've got Alex Pereira against whoever the heavyweight champion is. I'm sure the UFC will make Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall happen first, so really it's whoever wins that fight that may face Pereira. Pereira will likely fight Ankalaev early next year, and I think Pereira will win. So I could see Pereira's heavyweight debut, if it happens at all, sometime toward the end of the year, probably at MSG in November. And as far as I know, that would be the first time someone has fought for a title with a 3-division champ status on the line, and if he wins, I think he's indisputably the GOAT. At number 3, I've got Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis. I think DDP will beat Sean Strickland at UFC 312, so I could see this fight happening sometime late summer or in Abu Dhabi in October. Now, I've been waiting for Khamzat's title fight pretty much since 2021. He's had a lot of inactivity though, and he's moved weight classes, so it's been very delayed. But this year, it's almost a guarantee that he'll finally get it. And it's by far the most interesting matchup at middleweight. Both he and DDP have very unique styles. They are full throttle at all times, so I have no doubt this fight will be an absolute car crash. At number 2, I've got Ilia Topuria's lightweight title fight, because it seems highly likely that Topuria is done with featherweight. Topuria talks a lot, but every single time he has backed it up. So at this point, no matter what he says he's going to do to his opponent, I'm going to take him seriously. Even against a guy as good as Islam, who's pound for pound top 3 and will most likely beat Arman in January. I could see Topuria fighting a top lightweight like Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira early in the year, then fight Islam in October in Abu Dhabi. I feel for Islam because he doesn't have much to gain from this fight, but if we're being totally honest, Topuria seems like a much bigger threat to Islam than most of the top lightweights, so it kind of makes sense for him to make this fight. Plus, the fact that Belal is the welterweight champion means that going for double champ is sort of out of the conversation for Islam at this time. And last up, at number 1, of course, I've got Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. I mean, come on. This is the unification fight all the fans have been wanting for at least a year at this point. Nobody's even close to Aspinall in terms of competition at heavyweight. This has been the biggest story in MMA for the last several months. And if you go on any social media platform, like half the posts have been about this fight or the beef between Jamal Hill and Alex Pereira. I thought Jones's fight against Stipe was going to be a tell about whether or not he still got it, and I think it was convincing that he's still very competitive at this stage in his career. And no matter what happens in this fight, the result is going to be juicy.